Hey guys, welcome back to the Poor Investor, and I appreciate thanking you guys, all of you, to bringing me up to 7,000 subscribers, and all of you who have joined me on my live yesterday in regards to the whole CHIA plotting with GPUs, blah blah blah. And of course, there are two sides to a coin. Some people are torn between it, and they're still trying to figure out, why is it so bad? Why isn't it so bad? Why is it the worst thing that could happen to CHIA? You're going to get a whole bunch of different scenarios from different people depending on how they look at it. All right. But today we will be going over the Q&As that CHIA has let out for us to read in our own enjoyment while we're sitting in the toilet. Why did they post all these things on the chia.net website opposed to having an AMA? Because to be really honest, if I was being bombarded with thousands of questions in a matter of minutes, I wouldn't know how to answer either. And for the most part, because the answering is such on the fly that they may contradict themselves, so having it on paper, black and white, for you to read can actually benefit them. All right, so let's go into a little more details of what the hell am I talking about. Plot compression is here. There's actually multiple articles that they released yesterday, right? So January 20th, they had also this one, GPU plotting is real and very fast. Now, yesterday, when on my live stream, I was going over another article in regards to the whole GPU plotting. But let's go over high level. What are we talking about here? And this is from JM. GPU plotting is here from CHIA and Mad Max. Two separate things, right? Two different technologies, apparently. CHIA has their own, Mad Max has their own, and you could choose to use one or the other. And it is very fast. K32's plots in 1.5 minutes on a single head end GPU plus 256 gigs of RAM. For the most of you, including myself, I do not have 256 gigs of RAM, so I'm probably not even one of these people who are going to be able to do this, right? Pretty much. They're setting requirements now beyond the typical gamer setup or the typical business home, work from home user setup, and which is really difficult to obtain because the price of this is not cheap. Just putting it out there, guys. GPU performance and IO bandwidth are growing at a rapid pace. Always. Every single year, every turn of the century, something new, revolutionary happens, right? From the start of when internet became a thing to where it is now has like 10 times fold, the technology and the brain power of every individual. Even little kids such as 5-6 years old can program things now. Amazing times, isn't it? Plot grinding, spoofing plots with GPU can be I can't pronounce this word, and I'm gonna just skip it now. Oh my goodness. Performed one phase one is under 28 seconds. I'm not sure technically why 28 seconds specifically, but I'm sure they have their reasons. But let's keep on going. But it isn't economical and requires a lot of continuous energy. All right, I want to explain something here. The debate is everything is going to be less consumption in regards to comparing it to Bitcoin. All right, that is fine. Now, I guarantee you, if Bitcoin went to $1, this consumption of energy will reduce by maybe, is it safe to say, 95%, 99%? People would just stop mining it, right? But in that respect, in that regards, it's economical and requires a lot of continuous energy. Yes, okay. So that means someone out there, if they're crazy enough to buy all this hardware and to do all this just so they can spoof plots under 28 seconds, that means there's a problem, isn't there? What I fail to see is that she is doubting people and saying that if you think you could do under 28 seconds, and this is just my opinion, if you think you could do under 28 seconds, you got other problems than you must have mental issues, because financially, economically, it doesn't make any sense. But I guarantee you people do a lot of things for no damn good reasons. All right. Case in point, people rob banks and they know the outcome of it, but they still do it. They still do it because there's a brief moment of satisfaction, gratification, and people will do it. It's dopamine. Guys, it's dopamine. Don't doubt anyone. This is why I see Chia's, they're doubting like it just doesn't economically make sense. Don't doubt anyone. Chia blockchain has constant setup to prevent plot grinding. The ultimate protection against plot grinding without hurting honest plotter is to keep it uneconomical. I'm not sure how they can do that. Honestly, even if it was uneconomical, people would still want to do it because to prove that they can do it. All right. You know, in the hacker world, you got script kiddies, you got hacktivists. They do things for no reason sometimes. And they have a cost, right? They're trying to hack and crack passwords. Maybe they try to get a financial cost, or maybe they're just trying to get a name out there. But people do things for no reason all the time. Don't look at it as always a financial gain. My opinion again. All right. Chia is proposing a chip to reduce the plot filter to ensure that plot grinding remains uneconomical for the foreseeable future. Wording in here is foreseeable future. By next year, nobody knows what's the capabilities depending on what hardware is released to the general public that they can purchase. 4090s may be an outdated thing, and 50, 90s, 60, 90s probably do what they're thinking people are not capable of doing now for the moment. So you have to remember that. All right. So GPU plotting is real and very fast. Yes, we all agree to that. Of course, I'm going to be going over to my community post. I asked a simple question: is GPU mining, plotting, and farming with Chia considered POW? And I'll bring that answer on a little later as I'm going through the QA over here. All right. So let's go here. Plot compression is here. And we'll read the summary. I love the summary right at the beginning, so you don't have to go all the way down to figure out certain things. All right. Plot compressions are now available for multiple parties. Chia will be releasing support through the beta program soon. Wow, we've heard that many, many times. Soon. Chia designed the proof of space not to be infinitely compressible. I have problems with reading these words. All right. Plot compression works with a time-space trade-off, removing parts of the plots and recreating them on the fly during farming. So pretty much GPUs filling these voids where these plots are not complete, and GPUs are coming in to fill these little voids to present it as a complete plot. And that's what these GPU farming is doing. By design, Chia is not going to turn into POW due to diminishing returns. So just because they're saying that it's diminishing returns, meaning if you're constantly farming or mining in the negative, that is not considered POW? Is that what that says? Is that what that means? Due to diminishing returns? Let's just say I figured out a way. Let's just say anyone figured out a way to maximize and utilize multiple GPUs at one given time to farm Chia, right? Let's just say it's not general, it's not public knowledge. No one knows it. One guy figured it out. He has a farm of, 8 GPUs going at it. Is that not POW? Or it's not POW because no one knows about it, but this guy is doing it, right? Or because if he has 8 GPUs going at, let's just say, Chia farming, because he's in the negative, diminishing returns, that it's not considered POW. I don't totally agree with that. Plot size decrease is linear and power increase is exponential. So here I'm guessing they're saying that because the plot size is shrinking and the power consumption is, a little less, it's in comparison to when you're plotting or farming with CPU, the duration of plotting for CPU is longer and possibly around the more or less of the same power consumption. But because you're using GPUs, it's at a shorter spurts, less voltage and using less energy. And that's why they're saying it's a little, maybe for your farm, it's more economical to utilize a GPU for plotting plus farming. All right. But I'll go into some percentage that Chia mentioned in here, and I don't totally agree with it, but we'll see. Give me your comments on what this means to you as I keep on going. Farmers can expect a small increase in energy use relative their chosen compression level. All right, so this is the part that I wanted to get to. They go over the whole concept of POW versus POST. Proof of work is an algorithm to secure blockchain like Bitcoin. In POW, computer called miners continuously generate random numbers called hashes. These hashes act like lottery tickets. Once a winning lottery ticket is found, the miner creates a new block and collects a reward, and the process starts all over again. Proof of work has first Nakamoto consensus, which among other things make it easy to validate and given blockchain in the canonical one. Is the canonical one. I don't even know what that means. POW is I have to look all these things up. POW is energy. POW is energy, yes. Intensive because each participating miner must continuously generate hashes to maximize the chances of winning. Of course, hashes don't win. They end up like losing lottery tickets. Disregard, never to be seen again. All right. POST, on the other hand, proof of space and time, is the second and only other Nakamoto consensus like POW. See, that's where the confusion comes in. You're saying POST is not POW, but like POW, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just the wording. I'm not saying here they're saying like, oh, POST is like POW, but they are saying POST is like POW. Right here, right in front of your face. POST, like POW, it uses hash that functions like lottery tickets. Okay, for a lot of other people who are reading this, they don't see that that difference between the two. All right, so you're saying proof of work, lottery ticket, POST, lottery ticket, just like POW. Like, like it's starting to intermingle now. All right. The primary difference, the primary difference is that in POST, the lottery ticket only needs to be generated once instead of throwing them away after a single use. Farmers store them inside files called plot. So basically what they're saying, it's not really lottery tickets because honestly, you cannot use lottery tickets over and over again, unlike POW. So in the POST, right, they're more like bingo cards. You could lose one. Next game comes along, you could win with that same card. They're bingo cards, not lotto. Whoever did this, lotto doesn't work that way. All right, there could be more people in this watching this video understand lottery tickets more than they understand POST and POW differences. All right, they are not lottery tickets. They are bingo cards. You can reuse them. Okay. Each plot contains over 4 billion lottery tickets, yet a farming computer requires minimal resources to fetch a winning ticket because of how the plots are organized. And the best of all, the plots can be reused for the disk life. All right, until your hard drive dies, you can keep on reusing these plots. That's basically what they're saying. The POST consensus enabled CHIA blockchain to have similar levels of security as Bitcoin while consuming less than 1% of the total network power. So the more they constantly say like Bitcoin, similar to Bitcoin, you can't, like, I don't know why you keep using that comparison. People are going to start saying, oh, it's just like Bitcoin. It's just like Bitcoin. It's just like POST, just like POW, whatever. All right. So that's that. And of course, they're going to show the plot compressions here. It's going to go like what's more economical, right? Obviously, the change rewards. So people are scared now. They're saying, oh, I have all these NFT plots. I replotted from OG times. Yes, we did that. I dreaded that. We went from OG plots. Now, we're going to pool plots because we didn't think about pools. That's what CHIA said. We didn't think about pools. We didn't think it was necessary. You just plot your plots and then you farm them. And then pools came out and said, oh, no, you guys have to replot now for NFT plots. And what's going on now? Now you have to replot again because your rewards can be increased by X percentage because now if you compress your plots and you fill up more, your chances of earning more is higher than the guy who says, no, I'm going to keep it on NFT plots because I don't have the resources. I don't have 256 gigs of RAM or GPU to plot, minute and a half plots. Right? It's very debated. People are being turned off because of this option. It's not an equal playing field anymore. Anyone can say that, yes, oh, it's equal, because, I plot the same way on the NFT plots. We all have the same size plots, but no, now I can have more compression on my plots because I have better hardware than you. But they're saying, but that may not be economical. Like, again, throw economics out of the door, because not everyone's going to be economical. I didn't buy, if I could afford, or you can see people on Instagram buying Porsches, they didn't think about economical. All right. Using what? 9, maybe 8 gallons per per mile for, it's insane. People don't drive muscle cars, like these heavy V12s, because they thought it was going to be more economical, right? They're just burning gas, burning fuel, burning money. People don't go to the racetrack and say, you know what, I'm going to be economical today, and I'm going to drive my crazy fast sports car at 60 miles an hour just because it goes into economy mode. Come on. Let's be realistic here. No one's going to think like that. No one ever. Because there's people who are willing to spend on this crazy stuff. All right. Compression plot level 1 will result in 13.61 reduction in size. All right. That's right here. Level 1. Because currently we are all here. 101.3. Sounds like a radio station. 108.77 GBs per plot. 0 reduction. Although they say 0%. Although CHIA already claimed that these original plots is already compressed. So, but now it's 0 reduction, all right? So compare, because the anything else prior to that doesn't exist. So these are the standard plots that we all are sitting on right now. But there's different levels of compression. Different levels of compression requires different amount of hardware. And that's where all this is coming into play. People are like, so someone who has better, hardware than me, it's going to outperform me. And I could honestly say, yes, they can. But will it be economical for them? And at that point, you have to ask, do they really even care if it's economical for them? Because at some point, these GPU miners are going to say, yeah, I'm just doing it for fun. Or I'm hoping that the coin price goes up. Where do you stand in that? What if CHIA did come back next year and hit $1,500? Did you wish that you would have bought more hardware at that point then? Very, very debatable again. All right, so let's keep on going down. I wanted to go into the QA of this, and I didn't want to drag on this video. And I know I just have so much going on in regards to this. Like, I just have, like, my input on this is just, like, I'm so confused. Like, I'm trying to side with different groups, different people on their mentality and their mindset. And I'm understanding each one of them, where they're coming from, because everyone brings up a valid point. I don't care what CHIA says. CHIA could say whatever they want, because they're going to do whatever they want. Like I said previously, CHIA didn't have to adapt the GPU concept into their farming and plotting. But because I think Mad Max pushed it to the limits, they had no reason, they had no other choice but to respond to it. And they're introducing it now because they know it opens up a new market. Come on, guys. It's all about marketing. If that wasn't the case, why did they hire a chief marketing officer or whatever they hired? Right? Okay. I'm just saying. You don't say it's not marketing. They're trying to get more funding. They're trying to do more things. Yes. They're trying to appeal to the masses. Because like Bitcoin, they are appealing to the masses. All right. Why are you releasing a compressed plot format? We'll go over this really quick. If a technology can be built, someone would build it. In the case of compressed plots, is only a small number of farmers had access to the technology. They would gain an advantage over everyone else. By releasing a free and open source compressed plot format, we enable everyone to use the same advantage technology to create their plots. No one will have a tactical advantage over anyone else. No one would have had a tactical advantage over anyone else if anyone didn't create this insanely fast plotting, technology. Like Mad Max and BladeBit or whatever, and they would have everyone would have been equal. But now the playing field is, you got elites and you got rookies, All right. So, all right, we made that clear. Will I be required to compress plots? No, compression is optional. Yes, that is optional. Optional to the point where your rewards will be less than the person who's compressing it. Just saying the truth. Just saying the truth. Can I compress my existing plots? No, you cannot. Your whatever plots you already done, the 100 gig plots, garbage. If you want to start over and have compression plots, you have to create new ones. Whether you start buying new drives, can you mix and match? Yes, you can. You can buy new drives and you can start doing compression plots. But your OG plot, your NFT plots, has to stay the same. You can't compress the existing ones. Now, from history, from my old videos, what I wanted to talk about, I was saying, oh, if it was awesome to compress the existing plots and then add more plots, then everyone's on the same field. But it's not. You have to just either omit them, just use them as they are, or create new ones. And that's how that's going to be. Can I compress my existing plots? No. Will I be at a disadvantage if I don't use compressed plots? Currently, there is parity in farming. Everyone uses the same plot format. Yes, and I thought everyone should stay on the same plot format. So the only way to win more rewards is if you have more plots and more storage. Right. If you choose not to replot, then as others do replot, your relative share of network space will slowly decrease even if the number of disks that store plots stay the same. This will place you at a slight disadvantage. See, they're saying it straight out here in your face. Disadvantage relative to everyone else. However, it also means that you won't spend any additional time or electricity on replotting. The decision is entirely yours. So here, they're basically saying if you don't replot and someone new comes on, let's just say they have 1 petabyte of storage and they decide to do the highest compression of plots, they will overtake you in earnings instantly. All right. So basically, if you choose not to replot, you will lose out on the long run, because anyone who joins and comes onto the project now and decides to use compression and plots, I can guarantee you anyone who joins the project now is not going to say, oh, I want to go just the original NFT plots, no compression. I don't see that happening at this point. GPUs are being more reasonable now. No one is scalping it. They're not crazy expensive like 2 years ago where prices were like 20 times MSRP. Hardware is more reasonable. Hard drives are more reasonable price now compared to 2 years ago or a year ago when CHIA first came out. Crazy times. In the future, will there be any additional plot format that compress plots even more? Not likely. They've said that before, but I don't see this happening. We'll read a little more. When we released the current platform back in 2020, we knew that certain trade-offs and improvements would be possible with the right time and technology, which we are now seeing. However, today we are approaching the theoretical I hate reading that word, limits of compression. You are unlikely to see a new format that further compress the plots by more than a tiny percentage. We mentioned in the post that we likely bring a few more levels that approach the limit once we have the capabilities to offload the decompression. I don't believe this answer to be entirely true because you can't predict the future. You don't know that. Case in point is Bram created BitTorrent, and his intentions were not the intentions of what people decided to use it for, to pirate illegal software, right? So eventually someone will figure out a way to do something, and it may not align with what your thoughts were for that particular, project or what you had in place, So let's just say taxi cabs, right? Or I owned a taxi cab, and, someone hails me and they jump in the car and I drive them to their destination. My goal is to drive that cab and earn a living and make money from it. But the customer jumping in that cab, honestly, it could be a legitimate business person, or this person could have just robbed the bank and jumped in my cab and say, I need to get there, and I drive him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because my intentions were good, right? CHIA's intentions is good, right? They're telling you right here that we don't foresee it, but other people have their own little thing going on. They do what they want to do. They don't care what your intentions are. To harm you, not to harm you, whatever the case, different people out there that will take things and do different things with it. I'm just saying, all right? Is the BladeBit beta compression going to be the final plot format? Just reading that question, I'm going to answer it before I even read their answer, is that I've heard this over and over again. Is it final after we do NFT? We haven't heard anything since, but now all of a sudden you can compress plots, but you have to recreate them. All right, so now we'll read into their answer. The CHIA client will support the version released in the beta program. There is an additional 1 to 2% of optimization in the plot format for minor algorithmic optimization that we have identified that we may release at some point. When farming on SSDs becomes viable towards the second half of the decade, the plot format can be changed again due to low latency or flash versus hard drives. These small changes have diminished returns when you look at major decreases in plot sizes, like the compute trade-offs that we have implemented. All right, I'll take a little minute to absorb all that. Doesn't matter what hardware I use to create my plots. All plots created by BladeBit have the same K value and compression level will look the same regardless of hardware used to create them. So pretty much a plot is a plot, but depending on what hardware you use. And I believe BladeBit, it's more, can I continue, it doesn't matter what hardware I use to create my plot. No, it's, I'm trying to find the right wording for that. All plots created by BladeBit are the same. Yeah, I guess. Can I continue to use my K32 plots? Yes, we have no plans to increase the minimum K at this time. At this time, guys, at this time. Because anyone who can spoof plots under 28 seconds, like Chia said, then you need to start upping your Ks, like K34s or whatever. If we ever do intend to increase the value, you will be notified at least 1 year in advance. How do you even like predict that? How do you predict that you will let us know in a year in advance if there's a, let's just say Chia had a 0 day, someone came up all of a sudden, didn't announce it, and then just start attacking the Chia network. They were faking plots, spoofing plots. 1 year? Okay, I guess. I don't think anyone can really give a 1 year advance notice on anything. Can I mix and match the compression level? Actually, I'll take that back. The only 1 year advance notice I can give you that next year I'm going to be a year older on this particular day. All right, I'm not going to tell you guys that day. Can I mix and match compression levels on my plots? Yes, you can mix and match. Like I said earlier, a farmer could use tools baseline the compression level, compute overhead, and power to understand how it affects their farming profitability. Whether you have NFT plots, no compression, compression 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, you can have multiple different compression levels and all farm the same way, right? Is the method compress the plots called a Hellman attack? Similar method, but the bit dropping method of time-space trade-off and a Hellman attack work on removing one or more table, but recreating the entries is far complex in a Hellman attack and requires increased time for plotting. The method we use reduces plotting time for writing the removed tables to disk. All right. Wow, there's a lot of questions here. When will it be released? BladeBit disk plot and RAM plot will support for compressed plotting are feature complete and undergoing internal testing. The CHIA client support with farming the compressed plots is being actively finished, and we will release the entire package with cross-platform and OS support in the beta program when it is a feature complete. Feature complete? Okay. Will it take less time to create a compressed plot? The benefits of the method we are using, the compute space trade-off, is that some of the tables are now not required to be stored in the final plot file, reducing the plot time by a small amount. How will this affect my Raspberry Pi, which runs as a harvester? Oof, all right, that's a good question. Farmers and harvesters that are low energy and compute capabilities will be able to run at a low-level compression level 1 or 4. The amount of storage farm has a major impact on the compute overhead. We will develop enhancements to the harvester protocol that allow a centralized farmer to decompress plots from a remote harvester, improving energy efficiency and allowing for low-cost compute harvester support. Did they even answer that question there? I'm thinking like if you use a Raspberry Pi, honestly, like people are doing it now on the zero compression plots. Wouldn't they just leave it at that? Like, is the Raspberry Pi that capable to farm level 1 through 4 plots? I mean, someone will have to test that. I haven't messed with a Raspberry Pi in regards to Chia. Sounds awesome. When are we releasing these enhancements to the Harvester protocol? We can always check roadmap.chia.net for the latest priority and planning for feature, as well as leave comments for our product team. All right, guys, this ran a little long. So in all simple terms is that, you know, there's going to be some confusion for people coming on here and, you know, watching this and saying, oh, GPU plotting, farming, it's proof of work, or is it proof of, you know, proof of space and time? So many variables to, you know, to make up on your own to decide what that means to you. But of course, I will be doing more videos in regards to this because I enjoy it. I'm finding it really intriguing at this point, because I want to utilize my GPUs as well. All right. I want to thank you guys for always being here and getting me to 7,000 subscribers. And I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.